Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Megan from Grey Arrow Tarot, and today we are going to get messages from your future self. So this can be any version of you in the future that you want to hear from. If there's something you're struggling with right now, this can be the version of you that has overcome that struggle. If there's a goal you want to achieve, this can be the version of you that has achieved that goal. Or if there's just a future version of yourself that you want to hear from, you can set that intention. If you don't have anything like that, just set the intention to hear from the version of yourself that you most need to hear from. And then I will channel messages for you. So I'm really excited to get into things. I'm really excited to see what comes up for you. When you're ready, you can go ahead and choose your group. You cannot choose wrong. Just use your intuition. Typically, one group is going to be calling out to you more than the others. If you are feeling drawn to multiple groups, that's totally okay. It likely just means there are messages for you in more than one group. So you are free to listen to as many groups as you are called to and to claim any messages that you believe are meant for you. So when you're ready, again, you can go ahead and choose your group. This is going to be pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3, and this is pile number 4. If you want to sit with the cards for a little bit longer, you can go ahead and pause the video here. Otherwise, when you're ready, you'll find the timestamp in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's see what messages your future self has for you. What messages does your future self have? Messages for group number 1. We've got 2 here. Let's see. Get a couple more for you. Messages for group number 1 from their future self. Messages for group number 1. All right. So I will tell you, as I was shuffling, one message I got right off the board, or right off the jump, was to stop resisting the inner work. So if there is any inner work that you are avoiding or resisting, or what's coming up for me is an experience that I've had in the past where I feel like I needed the external thing to have the time and space to do the inner work, but that's actually not how it works. Like, you have to do the inner work first to get the external thing. So if that is something that resonates with you, your future self, and perhaps even your higher self, is really encouraging you to do that inner work. So let's see what cards we have for you. First, here we have the Devil. Next, we have the Nine of Cups reversed, followed by the Two of Swords reversed, and the Five of Wands upright. Okay. So yeah, what I am getting here, like I said, so these 2 cards in reverse, I feel like there's a good balance between like inner work that needs to be done right now, along with external action. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied with this group. I'm wondering if you are lacking clarity, and that's part of why you're here. But anyway, so what your future self wants you to know is that there's 2 big keys to getting what you want. You have to let go of, like, I don't know if I want, self-destructive isn't the right term, but it's the best I've got right now, so I'm going to go with it. Like, any type of self-destructive tendencies that you may have. So even like not following through on things you want. And when I say this, I don't mean to like go into a shame direction with it. It's not, there's nothing wrong with what's going on for you, but there's a deeper issue that's keeping you from moving forward. So it's nothing to be ashamed of if you haven't taken action the way you want to, or haven't been able to overcome obstacles the way you want to, or if you find yourself falling into bad habits, bad routines. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But the thing is, there's something deeper in you that's keeping you from getting where you want to go. So you're really being encouraged. Your future self wants you to know that you need to do that inner work to discover what it is that's actually holding you back. Because that's actually going to help free you from this devil energy, which we're going to get into more in a moment. But it's like, that's what is keeping you constricted. That's what's keeping you confined. That's what's keeping you feeling like you are chained in. And the other piece of this is that there's a real need for you to get clear on what's important to you and what you want in your life. Like, I feel like there is something, you're either lacking clarity, and I do think that's true for a lot of you, because this is the second time that's come up. You're lacking clarity on what you want and where you're headed, and or you are feeling like you have to want different things than what you actually want. So it's like you're kind of living someone else's dream. And there's a need to free yourself from that. But let's get into these cards a little bit more in depth. So one thing I think is really interesting with this devil card, I'm really being drawn to this big gold triangle that we have. And it's almost like the triangle is taking us down. It's a downward arrow. And it's almost like what I'm getting with this is you being weighed down. You being pulled down by something that is not aligned with you. And I really think, I feel like it's a way of being. It's like, it's habits, it's behaviors. It could even be belief systems, but I feel like it's like you getting caught in bad behaviors, or I don't even want to say bad, but unhelpful, unsupportive behaviors and habits. And also, like, again, I'm getting this big feeling of you not taking action or moving in the direction that you want to move in. And I think there's a deeper belief that's stopping you from doing this. I think from the outside, it could look self-sabotaging to others, and perhaps you even consider it to be, but that's actually not what's going on. Like, there's a protective instinct that's coming out. It's a defense mechanism, and there is something deeper in there that needs to be explored. It needs to be cultivated, because that's what's keeping you stuck. That's what's keeping you from really moving forward and claiming what you want, claiming what's yours. And it's what's keeping you kind of in this devil energy of feeling really constricted. Because I also think it's interesting that this triangle is like holding in this horn or whatever this is here. It's like it's containing it, and it doesn't feel like it's in a good way. It's like it's keeping it stuck. So you're being really encouraged to do this inner work to get to the bottom of what's keeping you in this place where you don't want to be. And this could be in any area of your life. Because for some of you, I'm getting it's like your life as a whole, but for others, it's like there's a very nuanced area that you are frustrated with that is not going how you want it to. And getting to the root of what it actually is that's keeping you from either taking action or keeping you from doing things to really move yourself forward in this area is going to be really helpful and supportive of you. Now, with this Nine of Cups, this is the card that's really giving me the impression that you are either unsure of what you really want, or you are currently living other people's dreams and desires for you. So like the energy I'm getting around this is like, perhaps it's like your parents had this beautiful life planned for you. And yes, perhaps it is a beautiful life, but it's a beautiful life for someone else. It's not actually what you want. And for some of you, I feel like you do know what you want, but you're kind of afraid to go after it because of how it might upset your parents or whoever it is that has these dreams and goals for you. For others of you, I feel like you don't actually know what you want because you've been on this path for so long, like the path that you should be on. And that's what's keeping you from the path that you actually want to be on, the path that's actually aligned with you. So this card is here. Your future self really wants you to, again, it's like go inward and get clear on what you want. When the Nine of Cups shows up upright, it's like it's kind of wishes coming true. It's you getting what you want. But this reversal to me is indicating that you don't quite know what it is that you want yet. So you can't get what you want if you don't know what it is, or if you're afraid to go after it. So doing that inner work, really getting into what do you want for yourself. And I would say even if like you feel like you know, still sit with it. Still sit with it and go a little bit deeper, because I feel like there's another layer to your desires that you might not have uncovered yet. And your future self really wants you to know that and to give yourself this kind of time, energy, and commitment. And now with this Two of Swords reversed, when this card tends to speak to indecision. But again, what I'm getting for you from your future self is like, I feel like it's not about you. Like, yes, there's a part of you that's indecisive. Like we just covered with the Nine of Cups. There's a part of you that doesn't quite know what you want or doesn't quite know how to go about it. But like, I feel like with this card, it's more like fear of trusting yourself. Fear of like, what if I make the wrong move? What if this is a mistake? And this could very much be part of that devil energy we were talking about. Like part of what's keeping you in place, what's keeping you stuck is this fear of getting it wrong, this fear of making the wrong choice, and that your intuition might lead you in a wrong direction. But I would argue your intuition never leads you in the wrong direction. Even if it doesn't turn out how you hoped or how you think, there's still something that you were meant to discover in that journey that will take you to the next place, that will take you to the next level of authenticity. So I truly believe as long as you are trusting your intuition, you cannot end up in the wrong place. Personally, I have found I end up in far more of the wrong places when I trust my mind. That's when I overthink things. That's when I do the right thing or what I should do. And that's always when I have the regrets. So I feel like part of your journey right now from your future self that you're really being encouraged to cultivate is your connection to self. It's your connection to your intuition. It's your connection to what you actually want. And it's shedding the fear that following what you want and where you're guided is going to be bad or harmful to you in some way. And all of that is really leading us beautifully to this Five of Wands, which to me, and like I didn't even fully process this card until this moment, but it echoes so much of what we've been talking about in this reading. And it, because when the Five of Wands, you will probably hear me say this time and time again, but when the Five of Wands comes up, it is almost always for me a card of like, everyone's talking and no one's listening. And I feel like this energy is applying to you. Like you are being told a bunch of things from people, from society, being told what direction you need to go in, being told what you need to do, but no one's listening to you. And to the point that you're not even listening to you. Like you've got all of these voices, all of this input, and you are really being called by your future self. Your future self really wants you to start to tune out those voices, to start to listen to yourself, to start to get to the root of who you are and what you want. And I think if you do this, you're going to find that you end up in this really beautiful, really magical place. All right, let's get some oracle cards for you. Let's see what your future self wants to tell you more directly. So pile number one's future self, what messages do you have? Pile number one's future self, what messages do you have for pile number one? All right, here we go. Accept the gifts from the universe. You deserve all the beautiful things in your life. With number 10 here. So what I am getting here, this could also be something that you may need to work on. Part of what's keeping you from moving forward is a need to be better at receiving, which I feel like is very common. A lot of us need to work on this because we are really conditioned that if we can't do things for ourselves, there's something wrong with us. We're a burden. Like there's all of this weight that comes around accepting help and accepting gifts. And when we do that, when we have a hard time receiving and accepting, that's part of what keeps us stuck, because we need help, whether it's from other people or from the universe or other people working as the universe. Like we do need help and support. And I feel like your future self wants you to know there is no shame in accepting this help and support. There is no shame in allowing yourself to receive. And it's actually really important that you allow yourself to receive. And my ears ringing as I say that. So I feel like this is just a very deep, very profound lesson for you. Yeah, I just feel like your future self really wants you to know you deserve all the good things. You deserve all of the best things. Let's see what else we've got for pile number one. Message from their future self. Pile number one. Oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. All right, we've got one for you here. Mother Rose, return to each other, compassion, humanity. Yeah, this again, I feel like is really echoing the message we just received. This return to each other is to let yourself be helped, to let other, like it's like creating community. So it's not just letting yourself be helped, but like also support. It's like it's seeing it as a humane thing to do, as a piece of humanity, that we help and support each other. We accept help from each other. And there's just this real symbiotic relationship is what I'm getting. Like this real need to embrace that, to know that you would help others if they needed it. But there's a time on this journey with where you're at now, between where you're at now and where you want to be. You need help to get there. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And your future self really wants you to know that. All right, let's see. Last messages for pile number 1. We've got 2 for you here. We've got 2 feather messages. Let's see first here with this white feather. This is a white eagle. The connection to divine guidance is within you. So yeah, your future self, again, this to me is going back to that intuition. You have all of the guidance you need within you. Your intuition will guide you. Your intuition will lead you exactly where you need to be. But it comes back to trusting that. It comes back to having faith. And that can be hard to cultivate, especially if you're not used to using it. So like what I'm getting is that you need to start small. Start with taking the long way home. If you feel the intuitive pull to do that. Start with, just making a small choice that's different than what your brain's telling you to do. Something that won't cause any harm or that's very low stakes. Even if it's like, should you get a coffee or do your laundry first? Like, let your intuition guide you. And I think the more you do that, the more you're going to see that pay off, and it's going to make it easier for your brain to trust that impulse. But all the guidance you need is within you. And next we have Parrot. Let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It's time to embrace who you really are. You cannot make this shit up. I mean, this was one of the big themes of your reading. That you have to embrace who you really are. You have to get clear on who you really are, and you have to let go of others' thoughts and opinions of your life and what it should be and what it should look like. So yeah, pile number 1, I feel like that is one big message from your future self. The other big message is learning to receive. And I think that's the key to everything for you right now. Those 2 big pieces. Of course, there were other small things throughout this reading that will be supportive of you. But if you can work on those 2 big pieces, I feel like that's really going to open things up for you, and your future self needs you to know, especially with regard to letting go of other people's thoughts and opinions. Like, the more you embrace who you are, the more you will shine. And I love that energy for you. I love that so much. And on that note, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like, share it, subscribe it. I would love to have you with me in future readings. If you would like a more personalized experience, I do have personal reading options available, linked in the description box below. I also have the option to donate if that's something that you would be interested in. If this reading was valuable to you, it is never expected, but always appreciated. And again, that information is all below. But thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, group 2, welcome to your reading. Let's see what messages your future self has for you. Oh, yeah, we got all your cards in one go. All right, let's see what we've got. Your future self clearly has a lot to say. All right, so we have the 8 of Swords reversed. Followed by the 9 of Swords reversed. Followed by the Tower reversed. Excuse me. And followed by the 5 of Cups reversed. Okay. So all of these reversals, to me, I feel like you are going through a bit of a turbulent time internally. Perhaps externally too, but I'm almost getting like kind of like crisis of identity. Like there are things that maybe you used to believe that you're seeing aren't supportive of you anymore, or things that you used to do. Like this could be even career related, where it's like you're starting to realize maybe you've invested a lot of time and energy in your current career or your current career path. Even if you're in school or what have you. And it's almost like you're realizing that's not for you anymore. Like there's a lot of real turbulent energy here. And because all these cards are in the reverse, I feel like this is you, like this is all internal stuff. This is internal stuff that's going on for you. And I know it's rough. Like, I mean, especially too, we've got like all of when we've got the ocean showing up here, we've got like a rough ocean here. We've got rough waves here. We have the tower here literally falling down. This is just very tight, confined, restrictive, turbulent energy. And I do hate that you are in this right now. But I also feel like your future self wants you to know this is necessary for your growth, which I know could also be hard to hear when it is not going well for you. But the one thing I'm getting from your future self is to stop fighting it. Stop fighting this change. Stop fighting this transition. It's going to keep you in this stuck place. It's going to keep you in the state of confinement. So you are really being encouraged to surrender to the process, to not think too far ahead, to not feel like you need to solve this tomorrow. This is a process. Like, I think that word keeps coming up, that this is a process. This is an unfolding. This is an evolution. And it's not something that's going to right itself overnight. And I think that's okay. Like, you need to know that's okay, because the person you're evolving into, like your future self is here wanting you to know that the person you're evolving into is so powerful and so magical as a result of this, as a result of the situation, and as a result of this evolution. You are becoming a more powerful version of yourself. You're becoming a more aligned version of yourself, but there's a lot that needs to be shed internally, specifically. Again, with belief systems, with life trajectory, with like the things that you want or thought you wanted, or even used to want. It's okay to change our minds. Like, I feel like for some of you, you did actually want to be where you are, but it's realizing that this actually isn't what you thought it would be. And you are not who you thought you would be in this position. But let's get into this a little bit more card by card. So here, with this Eight of Swords reversed, like, this is what's giving me this feeling of this feeling of being trapped. Like, if you look at this character, let's look at it upright for a second. We have this character who is tied to this rock with these swords around it. No one can get to her. And you know, typically in this traditional depiction of the card, it's the idea that like the bonds aren't too tight. Like, you should be able to free yourself. But honestly, looking at this card, those bonds look kind of tight. I mean, this person is literally suspended. So I feel like for you, with this like card coming up in the reverse, it's like, I don't feel like you are physically restricted in any way, but you feel very confined. And again, I think it's because you are evolving, a more authentic version of yourself is surfacing, and you are truly seeing that where you are is just not where you want to be. And even the path that you're on is not where you thought, like, it's not where you want to be headed anymore. It's not what you thought it was. And it feels like, I feel like you could keep going forward. That's where I'm saying, like, there's not a physical constraint here, because you could keep going if you want to. But it's that if you were to keep going, that's where the constriction comes in, because it just feels so suffocating. And even coming up to paired with the Nine of Swords, like, this is a card of being like kept awake at night. So I feel like it's like your mind won't turn off about this. Like, you are just really ruminating on it. It's just such an unfun place to be. And the message your future self has for you is that you don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay on this path. You don't have to stay constricted or confined. You can make a different choice. In fact, your future self is almost imploring you to. And you should do this in whatever makes the most sense for you right now, whatever feels best for you. This isn't saying, like, for example, if it's like you're at a job that you've been working for years and like maybe you just got some promotion that you thought you wanted, but it's actually everything, it actually feels like this, it's all of this energy. If that doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow unless you have the means to do so and want to. It means that you start making an exit plan. You know, it doesn't have to be a quick flip of a switch. And again, in fact, you're really being encouraged not to do that, because I think there's parts of you that need to emerge. So it's like there are things that need to be released, but there's also new parts of you that need to emerge so you can gain the clarity you need to go in the right direction, to go in the direction that is most authentic to you. With regard to this Nine of Swords here, I feel like this is your future self saying that like you need to turn your mind off about this, because the mind is not going to solve this problem. It's your intuition, it's your heart, it's your soul. That's what's going to solve this problem for you. So the overthinking, like I'm almost getting like a need to really calm your nervous system, to do some meditation, take walks in nature, whatever resources work for you to calm you down. That should actually be your first priority right now, is just soothing yourself, getting yourself to a place where you actually can connect with your body and make decisions from an aligned place. Because when we're in fear and we're in panic, and I kind of feel like it's like, even if you're not directly in those emotions or feelings, like it's that kind of energy. You're very close to it if you're not in it. But when you're in that place, it's just very difficult to make aligned decisions, because that's where the mind tends to hijack. Like that's where survival instincts kick in. But because you are not in physical danger based on this, based on what we're seeing here, if your unique situation is different, that's going to add a layer to this. But for an overwhelming majority of you, this does not seem to be a physically dangerous situation. So you are not actually in physical danger. It's not a total supportive environment for your authentic self. And that feels overwhelming. And it almost feels like there's a part of you that's afraid that if you step out of this situation, that's where the danger will be, but that's not the case. So that's where we get into just needing to soothe our system, let our nervous system understand we are safe here and now. And from that place, that's where you start to uncover who you truly are. Because with this tower reversed, like this to me is the old you crumbling. And it's the old you that I feel like was not built on your authentic self. Like it was not something that, for some of you, it could be that you wanted this path and you went down it authentically, but now it's not serving you. But I do think there's somewhere along the line, it's like there was an idea that was planted in your head. And it could be about money. Like if you do this job, you'll make a lot of money and always be happy and supported. But you're like finding out that's not true. You're finding out you actually need more. And that doesn't have to be the exact idea. That was just an example. But it's this idea that like society or family has put a concept in your belief system that you ended up like building around. You built a life around to a degree. And I feel like what's happening right now is like you are just realizing that that's not what you want. That's not what you need. So it's creating space to really deconstruct what you were taught and what you were told, so you can become who you are actually meant to be. And when I say meant to be, I mean who you actually are. It's like it's a shedding of who you're not, so you can be who you are. And that's just like what I keep getting from your future self is this process is going to take time. So there's no need to rush it. Like find ways to do things that you enjoy. Find ways to do things that are supportive to you in this process. And the right path will emerge. The right path, the thing that's meant for you will emerge. But you don't have to force it. You just have to cultivate safety to be who you are. And with this 5 of Cups, when I looking at this, I'm really getting the sense that there is some person in your life that I think has really disappointed you. And it could be like that this process is going to reveal that disappointment. If you are not finding this to be true at this moment in time, it could also be that you are already disappointed by this person. And like I really love how we have this I'm not sure what animal this is. If this is an otter, a sea otter. I'm blanking. I don't think it is. I'm blanking on what it's called. But I love how we have this sea creature comforting this person. And it's like, I feel like there is comfort. Again, comfort is really important to you right now. Is creating comfort for yourself. I also feel like going back to the 9 of Swords, like sleep, because like you are changing. Even if you don't feel like you are doing much physically, or maybe even like you're not working as hard as you usually do. If you're tired a lot right now, it's okay. There's an awakening in you. There's an unraveling in you. And especially I feel like there is an element of emotion going on. Like if this is a very emotional time, because again, I do feel like, especially with the Five of Cups, like the Five of Cups speaks to both emotions and relationships. So I do feel like it's like realizing that there are people in your life who have either deeply let you down and you know who they are, or it's like uncovering people who are actually not aligned with you and you need to let them go. Like it might be someone who like disappoints you in small ways repeatedly. And you realize, you didn't think those things were big deals, but they all add up to somebody who isn't fully supporting you and who isn't fully giving you what you're giving them, who isn't matching your energy in the relationship. So yeah, I feel like you have a lot to work through. You might be at any point on this process, but your future self also wants you to know that like doing this is going to put you in a better place. There might be times of this that are difficult. There might be times of this that feel very heavy and are even very hard, but it's all leveling you up. It's all putting you in a truly transformative place where you actually are feeling free and happy and peaceful. You just have to be willing to do this kind of work. All right, let's see what we have for you for Oracle cards. What else does your future self want to tell you? Okay, I love this. Follow the path of least resistance. So again, that goes back to what we started with, is don't fight this. Don't fight this process. I think you're going to find as you start to do this inner work, as you start to uncover yourself in this new way, there are going to be paths and opportunities that open up for you that are more aligned. And like, it's this idea of like the path of least resistance. Lean into the ease of it. If it feels easy, it's meant for you. Don't fight it. Don't question it. Allow this to happen. Let's see what else we got. For group number 2, what else does their future self want to tell them? All right, that's a bunch of cards. We will take the top one as always. Healing the mother line, healing ancestral work, mother line, growing up. So this could mean a few things. For some of you, I feel like this is very literal, healing the mother line. So if you have any type of mother wounds, like this is tending to them. Perhaps mothering yourself the way that you were not mothered, or at least, in the way that you need. But also I feel like it's this idea of like healing and growing up. So like if there was anything from your childhood that you feel like your inner child didn't get, like you still carry any wounds from your childhood that are keeping you from being a really empowered adult, it's tending to that. I'm also wondering if it's either your mother or your mother's side of the family that has kind of pressured you onto the path that you're on now. Perhaps they are part of her, or they are part of the people who have disappointed you. But it's doing whatever healing you need to do. And that's really what this time is for. And healing can be messy. And I know we like, if you're in any type of spiritual or psychological space, we talk about a lot about how hard it can be, but I don't think anyone talks enough about how liberating it can be. And that is what I really feel is waiting for you. That's what your future self wants you to know, is there is real liberation on the other side of this. There is true, like that, and to me, like that's what true healing is. It's that you are no longer held back by your experiences and wounds. So yeah, there might be parts of this that are really messy, but every wound you heal, you will feel more liberated and elevated. And the things that's going to do to your energy, to your state of mind, to your way of being, just feel so, so, so expansive. And I love that for you so much. All right, let's see last messages from your future self. What else do we have for pile number 2? Here is your feather. And it is a flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. And I feel like this happened in the last group too. This is such a beautiful summary of what we've been talking about today. That yes, new rhythms want to come into your life, new patterns, new habits, a new version of you. And you're being encouraged to lean into that. You're being encouraged to follow that path and to trust that and adapt to that. Like your future self is coming through loud and clear to tell you this is safe. That this is safe, this is supportive, this is just This is putting you on the path to your most authentic self. And I believe that is where our happiest lives always live. And you are able to move closer to that through this healing and through this liberation. And while it might be challenging at times, what I'm feeling is waiting for you is going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it. And I love that for you so, so much. So on that note, pile number 2, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, please leave me a comment and tell me about it. I would love to hear from you. And if you would also like the video, share it, subscribe, I would love to have you in a future video. And if you would like a personal reading, I do offer those. All of that is linked in the description box below. Also in the description box below is an opportunity to donate if this reading was meaningful for you. It's never expected, but always appreciated. And all of that is in the description box. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Let's see what messages your future self has for you. What messages does pile number 3's future self have for them? Got 2. Let's see what else we can get for you. What messages does pile number 3's self have for them? Oop, that one's on the floor. Hang on. Let's get one more for you. I think one just flipped over. Hang on. Yep. All right, let's see what we've got. So first up, we have death, the Tower, the Moon, and the Chariot. Oh my gosh, you have all major arcana cards and they're all upright. Ooh, the energy you are in right now. So yeah, I feel like it's a mix of like really bumpy, really transformational energy that can feel really heavy and gross and weird and sticky, but also there's this light coming in. And I don't know if you can fully feel the light yet, but your future self is coming through to tell you there is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is a path forward for you. But you have to lean into this transformation. You have to lean into this death, this rebirth, because there is just like what's happening for you is beautiful in the long run. There's this emerging version of you. There's an awakening of you. It's a need to surrender to the process. That's what your future self wants you to know. But I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like there's some kind of intuitive gifts that are coming through. Like perhaps you're here because you are like either recently getting into tarot or recently feeling like you might have some kind of intuitive gift, whether it be with tarot or through another intuitive medium offering. There is something that's awakening in you that you are being encouraged to lean into. That spirit wants you to know that these gifts are coming online for a reason and that that's what's ultimately going to move you forward. But even if it's not something specifically intuitive, but I feel like for most of you it is, but even if it's not, there is just something new that's coming online for you, something that's awakening, something very creative and powerful that you are, again, just being encouraged to lean into. Even if it's weird and different and scary and unknown, there is a really powerful path forward for you. Let's get into this card by card. So here with the Death card, I'm really being drawn to the snake that we have moving through this image. And you are being encouraged to shed a skin. There is an old version of you that you have outgrown that you are being encouraged to release. And this just feels very profound to me. Like I said, like I feel like there is this awakening within you, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But your future self wants you to know to get to the part where your future self is, you have to shed who you are now. Like there's a reason this message is from your future self and not your current self, right? You have to let go of this version of you. And you have to surrender to the version of you that's emerging. And your future self wants you to know, like, they're in a great place. Like, they did this work. They did this, and it came out wonderfully. So any hangups or hesitancies that you have, let go. Let go and lean in. Let go of this version of you. Let go of who you used to be so you can fully embrace who you are becoming. And I feel like it's so interesting. I mean, first, I do want to take a moment to look at these cards all together, because we have like lots of like dark energy, but we have this bright light, and then we have the Chariot leaving the darkness behind and moving into the light. And I feel like this is like your trajectory right now. I feel like you are, I feel like, currently kind of in this darker place, but like this is where you can move into. This is what your future self is telling you is available to you, and what will happen if you do surrender to who you are becoming, to who they have become. Because with this Tower, you know, I really love this particular lightning strike, because it's giving me this idea of like, yes, you're like being struck by lightning, but it being a good thing. Like the 1 in a million chance has found you. And it's like, it's you being electrified in the best way. And yes, it is tearing down the old structure. It is tearing you away from maybe a life that you thought was stable and whole and like had real direction. But it's lighting you up in the process. Like, I feel like this, as much as there's like darkness and weird uncertainty going on here, this doesn't feel heavy. Like, it doesn't feel like it's like bearing down on you. It feels like it's a weight lifted. And there's going to be some uncomfortable moments in here because it's new. Like, you are shifting into a new energy. So this doesn't mean that this is going to be comfortable, but this doesn't feel like a painful transition. It feels like you're coming alive. And it's like shedding this tower, letting it crumble, is actually freeing you in a way that you did not realize was possible. So you are, again, being really encouraged to lean into this energy, to let the life that you have built fall. Now, the thing with the Tower I like to point out, and which feels really relevant for you, is it's not about you tearing down your life. So like, if there are things in your life that are still serving and supporting you, like, then they're still meant to be there. But if there's things in your life that are feeling difficult, that are feeling heavy, or that are actively trying to leave your life, like, I'm almost imagining like if there is a job that like you are abruptly fired from, and maybe it's not fair, maybe it's not right, maybe you could fight that. But this, like, it's like that energy, but this thing wants to leave your life. And should you really want to stay there if you're unwanted? So it's like these things are coming through. Like, there are things that will start to be taken from you if they're not already. And that was just an example. The job thing doesn't have to be actually what happens to you, but it's just this idea of something actively being taken from you. And it's something that maybe you want to fight, but with the Tower showing up here, like, the message is let it fall. Maybe it's not fair, technically. Maybe it's not right, but it's also not where you're meant to be. So you don't have to put the time and energy into fighting this fall, because it needs to fall. It needs to go so that the new version of you can emerge. And that's what we have here with the moon. You know, I really love the imagery of this card. Like, this is someone who's very calm, very in their power, very led by the moon. So, like, to me, like, what I'm getting is like learning to really be in touch with your body, be in touch with your intuition. The thing I always will say about the moon is, you know, the moon shines at night. Even if it's out during the day, it's not shining during the day. You can't see it like you can at night. And that's when the peace is. You know, I know our world is a little bit distorted in the sense that we can work at night. And of course, there are some jobs that are vital that they work at night. But by and large, nighttime is the time of rest, right? That's when we sleep. That's when we come home from our jobs. That's when we let things go. And that's when we can really find the peace and quiet to connect with ourselves. That's when we can find the peace and quiet to create, to learn, to grow. And the moon is also very closely tied to intuition. And this is what's really making me think that for a lot of you, this is some kind of intuitive, psychic, spiritual gift that's coming online for you. And it's like you're seeing your potential in a new way. And I feel like your future self is here to encourage that. To encourage that exploration, to encourage that, like, it happen at nighttime. Like, outside of your life now, as you start to shed your old life, it's like at nighttime you're building something new. And it's this new thing that is like, again, it's making you feel alive. It's making you feel electrified. So if it's not making you feel like that, then that's probably not what we're talking about. Like, this is something that is truly lighting you up with the discovery of it. And I love that for you so, so much. And then here with the Chariot, like, I feel like with this Chariot card coming up, like, you are really meant to move forward with this thing, with whatever it is that's emerging for you, whatever personality, whatever part of your personality is emerging, you are meant to let that lead you. I love it. We have these horses who are literally charging forward. They're charging out of the dark and into the light. And I feel like that is you. It's you. And it's so interesting too that we talked about like the dark actually being the light. You know, like here with the moon, it's look at all this white that's in the card, but I feel like it's like you're meant to do this work at night. It's like you are meant to come alive, to be electrified, to be this lit up in the quiet of the night. And that's where a lot of this growth and building will be. And perhaps it's metaphorical for you. But ultimately, I feel like it is you tapping into this power, tapping into this energy that's going to move you into this forward motion, into this like accelerated forward motion. Like, I feel like things are going to happen very quickly for you once you allow yourself to fully embrace this version of you. Once you fully allow this tower to fall, once you fully allow yourself to shed this skin and you fully step into this moon energy, I feel you moving forward very quickly, very briskly, things just happening so quickly for you. And the more you accept this version of yourself, the more your reality speeds up. Let's see what other messages we have for you. We've got some oracle cards next. What else do we have for pile number 3? Here we go. Promise to love yourself fully with the number 33. So 33 might be significant to you, but your future self wants you to know that you need to love yourself fully. And in fact, they're asking you to promise to do that. Because again, I feel like this version of you that's waking up, there is something uncertain about it. There's something new. That's what part of why I think for a lot of you it is spiritual, because that's still seen as a little too woo. It can be a little bit challenging to be out there in this energy with these gifts. Trust me, I know. But you're being encouraged to love yourself through this process and to love every part of you that's emerging, because it is powerful and it is magical. And I'm getting like a little bit, like the love I'm feeling is almost like emotional. Like it's just your future self wants you to know how incredible you are and how expansive you are and how beautiful you are. Let's see what else we've got for group number 3. All right, that was a lot of cards. We will take the top one. Oh my gosh, I love this for you. We've got the Mystic Rose: compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. You know, when I look at this card, I see mystic. And that's a word that's been coming up a lot for me lately. And it only feeds into, I feel like for a lot of you, this really is something spiritual, because I feel like you are really being called to embrace the mystical side of yourself, to embrace the mystic you, to let that part of you bloom, and to do it with compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. But your future self is asking for you to bloom, and accepting and loving this part of yourself and allowing it to shine, allowing it to emerge is how you do it. And I also want to note, like, this doesn't mean that you have to rush yourself through the process. That's never going to be the way to go. That's never going to be supportive. You need to move at your own pace through this. But it's also important that this is a priority for you right now. So you shouldn't push yourself or force yourself, but you should just take small steps forward as much as you can, as frequently as you can. And allow this version of you to emerge. Allow yourself to be in this energy, to explore it in whatever way makes the most sense for you. Let's see what else we've got for you. For pile number 3, last messages from your future self. Last messages from pile number 3's future self. Here we go. We have this blue feather for you. Let's see what we've got. The Parrot: let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It's time for you to embrace who you really are. Yes, this is so much of what we've been talking about. you're like I do feel like part of your evolution is letting go of other people's thoughts and opinions, but it's this embracing who you are. And again, I truly do believe for a lot of you, like, this is something spiritual. This is something intuitive and psychic that's kind of coming online for you. And there is a part of that that's a little bit scary and a little bit uncomfortable, because we've built a world that makes those things scary and uncomfortable when they should really be celebrated and seen as the gifts they are. And the more you allow this to be, the more peace you will feel. I feel like that's something your future self really wants you to know. The more you allow this to exist, the more peace and ease you will feel. The more you will, and the more you celebrate and love yourself for these gifts, the more you elevate yourself and you elevate your energy. And the more you call in. I feel such this sense of expansion, but also such a sense of peace. And I feel like that is a direct message from your future self. That if you allow this energy to exist, if you allow this version of you to emerge, the path it's going to put you on and the person you're allowing yourself to evolve into, oh my gosh, this person is incredible. Your future self is incredible. And that literally is your future self. So that's what you have the potential to grow into. And I really love that for you. Like so much. And on that note, I'm going to leave this reading here. But thank you so much, group number 3, for letting me read for you. If this reading resonates, I would love to know how in the comments. Be sure to claim your group. And if you liked this reading, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future readings. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description box below. And I also have a donation link. If this reading was meaningful for you and you would like to leave a donation, that is always appreciated but never expected. I'm truly just grateful to have you here today. And thank you again for being here. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's see what messages your future self has for you. What messages does pile number 4's future self have for them? A bunch just fell out, so we'll take the top card. What else do you have for pile number 4? Let's get one more for you. All right, we got 2 more for you, so we'll take it. All right, so first up we have the Hierophant reversed, followed by Divine Wisdom, which I believe is a unique card for this deck, also reversed. The 9 of Swords upright, 3 of Pentacles reversed, and the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay. All right. So first of all, what I'm getting with this is your future self really wants you to pay attention to your inner world. We've got 4 of your 5 cards are coming up in the reverse. So your inner world is very important right now, to where you're headed. And doing any type of inner development. But I'm feeling like sure, there is likely some healing to be done, but I feel like this is more growth. Like, I feel like you are being called to growth. And I do think to a degree healing and growth are intertwined, but it's more like I'm really getting an idea of like feeding your soul. Like, it's not about so much letting go or directly healing, but it's about just letting your soul guide you and letting your soul like lead you to things that are interesting, and kind of like I'm getting this idea of like your soul being sparked by something and you need to learn more about it, and you like going on a weekend bender where you just like go all in on whatever this thing is. Like, it's just letting your soul be quenched in that way. Yeah. And it's almost like if you do this, it's like I'm feeling like there are some external problems that you have with the 9 of Swords being your only upright card. Like there is some stuff going on that I think is causing you some stress, like is probably causing you some worry. And and just concern. But it's like if you are able to feed your soul in the way we're talking about, one, it's going to reduce this stress. And two, I think it's going to bring in solutions to whatever the problem is or whatever the situation is that you're navigating. Because it's like you are just, the more grounded in yourself you become, the more expansive you become. And the more you're able to solve problems in a really aligned and authentic way, and in a way that isn't going to make you feel like you're sacrificing yourself for a solution, if that makes sense to you. But let's break this down card by card. So with this Hierophant reverse, so the Hierophant, when it's upright, is a spiritual teacher or leader. Or even just a teacher in general. But I'm really getting kind of spiritual vibes from this. So I'm wondering if there is an aspect of spirituality that you're being called to research more deeply. And because this is in the reverse, I feel like it's not about you necessarily seeking out a teacher. It's about you seeking out the information. So it's like you kind of being the teacher, letting this be some kind of self-taught endeavor. Now, perhaps if you do feel like you want a course or whatever it is to deepen your skills, to deepen whatever this is that's emerging for you, by all means do that. But especially to start, I feel like it's like you are being encouraged to kind of be your own teacher, just to let your soul, this whole let your soul lead you is just coming through so strongly that you really need to let your soul guide you to the information you need. If you feel like you want to spend a weekend just doing a deep dive on whatever this is that's sparking you, you need to do that, and you need to not fight it. Because coming up with this divine wisdom, I feel like, and this is also divine wisdom, this is also what's making me feel like this is a little bit spiritual in nature, is that I feel like it is some kind of divine information that's coming to you. Whether it is about manifestation, law of attraction, tarot, Reiki, the wisdom that's available to you in the spiritual community is vast. There's a lot out there. So I can't say specifically what's being sparked in you because I feel like it's going to be really unique to everybody watching this video. But whatever it is, you are being encouraged to just lean in, to just learn, to just do the thing, because it's awakening a divine wisdom that's within you. And that's the thing with this reversal is I don't feel like it's you aren't sharing this divine wisdom, at least not yet. Your future self is telling you you don't need to give right now. This is about gathering the wisdom and sparking the wisdom that's already within you. It's awakening the wisdom. It's awakening who you are. So this is a time for you. It's not a time to share. I mean, if you want to share what you're doing with friends or people who will be supportive, that's fine. But this is a very personal journey that you are encouraged to go on right now. And it's not about, again, it's not about something you don't need to be online sharing what you're learning with people. That time can come, maybe, if that's something you want to do. But this is just about you going all in without having to answer to anybody or update anybody. And it's just letting yourself, just this whole lean in, going all in, leaning in, just letting yourself be with this, be with what's emerging is just there's just a magic around it that I'm feeling. And it's oh man, it's that feeling I get how I used to feel. All right, it's a slight personal story, but it's to illustrate this energy. When I was in high school, I used to love TV. And it was back in the day, there wasn't Netflix and whatever streaming. So if you were going to binge something, you had to get the DVD box set. So I would have DVD box sets of every show I loved. I had a floor to ceiling bookcase that was all DVD box sets. And there was this feeling of when I had a new box set and it was a show I haven't seen, or maybe I had seen previous seasons, but I haven't seen this one, of just being able to fall into the show for the weekend and be completely unbothered, just be in the magic of what I was exploring in this show. And that's what this feels like for me. It's this energy of just having this time that's just blocked off and just for you, and nobody's interfering with it. And you just get to make and play and explore and expand. And all of your problems stay outside this beautiful magical bubble that you are creating for yourself. And that's leading us to this Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, to me, this is the outside world. This is what I'm feeling. You're being encouraged to create this beautiful magical bubble because I feel there are things in your outside world that are not how you want them to be. And there are real stresses and concerns that you have right now. And this message from your future self, this is not that you should minimize these concerns, that you should like let things burn if that's the situation you're in. You should do what needs to be done. But you should make sure you have time to feed your soul in this way. And you should know that the more you feed your soul, the smaller your problems will become. The smaller the weight of your problems will become, because you will be more expansive. You will be in a more expansive place that you will be better able to deal with these problems. But also, you going down this path is naturally elevating your energy. It's naturally bringing to light who you truly are. And as you expand in this way, you are going to find that A, you have more creative solutions to your problems, and B, solutions tend to find you. Like, you are putting yourself in a much more magnetic energy because you are taking care of yourself, because you are taking care of your soul first and foremost. So again, this doesn't mean ignore your problems completely. Your future self does not want you to put yourself in a bad situation. But know that the more you give to yourself, like the more that you can create the time and space to do this exploration, to gain this wisdom and knowledge, the more expansive you're going to become. And also looking at this moon. Oh, I didn't notice that before. Hang on, let's look at this. So we have these swords that are like coming down at this character, but the character is looking to the moon that she is literally holding. And that, to me, the moon is always going to represent intuition. So it's like your intuition is always going to guide you. So the more you go down this road, the more ignited your intuition will become. And the more you lean into where it's guiding you to its path, again, the better off your situation is going to be. The better the outcome's going to be, the more solutions are going to find you. Now, with this Three of Pentacles, I'm really being drawn to these characters that we have dancing here. So I do feel like I feel like this is like your soul. This is your soul. As you go down this path, as you expand, you just start to like, I'm getting this idea of like you kind of coming into like an energetic union with your people. Because like Three of Pentacles. So the threes are all about community, a little bit about creativity. And the Three of Pentacles, when it's upright, it can speak to learning from others. So it is a little bit more of a, the idea is, in the traditional depiction of the card, you have an apprentice who is learning from two mentors. But the idea is that when you're learning, the learning is always reciprocated. So yes, the mentors are teaching their mentee a task, a skill, but inherently their mentee is going to teach them something too. Their mentee is coming into the situation with fresh eyes. And I feel like with you, and also too, because like the dynamic between mentor and mentee, you're passing knowledge or you're gaining knowledge from somebody who's very passionate about what you're doing. So it's like everybody comes out into this with the same passion. So that passion is kind of what I'm feeling with this card. I feel like it's like you are finding your people. But it feels like it's more energetic at first. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily in your community, in your life. I do think that's in your future. But it's like like what I'm getting is like maybe you like watching YouTube videos of people who share the same interest in this knowledge and wisdom that you're gaining. It's like you finding YouTube people who are doing the same thing. And you finding other blogs or like other online spaces where you are kind of like energetically having the same interests, even if you're not in the same place, even if you're not in the same space. But it's this idea that people are out there who like this thing, who have this knowledge, who are already expanded in the way that you are meant to expand. And I feel like your future self wants you to know that you are not alone in this. Even though this is a very personal journey that you're on right now, you are not alone. There are people out there and there is more knowledge to be gained should you want to take a class. But right now, I feel like it's more about you just really coming to understand that you are not alone in your interests. You are not alone in the path that you're on. Others are there. Others have been there before you. And there is just this beautiful expansion for you. And then with this Ten of Swords, I feel like this to me is a great unburdening. Like it's like almost like, it's almost like finding these people is helping you let yourself free. Like it's like this idea where we have this card, this character's upside down. It's almost as if the swords would be falling off of her. So it's like every burden you've been carrying is ready to break free from you. Is ready to just fall out of you. because you are reaching such an elevated state of being, because you are truly accepting yourself in a new way. I think that's really key from your future self, is that you need to accept yourself in this new way. You need to accept what's emerging from you right now, because that acceptance, that's going to be what truly propels you forward. That's truly going to be what helps your problems shed. Because when you have that self-acceptance, when you can stand in that level of confidence, your world opens up. And I love that for you. All right, let's see what else your future self has to say. For pile number 4, what does pile number 4's future self have to say to them? All right, we got a bunch there. We're going to take the top card. Open your heart to the magic around you. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, this is very much what we've been talking about, that you need to open up to whatever magic wants to come into your life right now. Open your heart, lean in. Don't be afraid to get hurt. I don't know why that's coming through, but your future self needs you to know, like, don't be afraid to get hurt by this. Don't be afraid that this isn't going to be what you want it to be. Just enjoy it for what it is right now. Just lean in, just have fun. Just let your heart be open to this and let your soul be sparked. What else do we have for pile number 4? Pile number 4's future self. What other messages do you have? Oh, I love this for you. So we've got the Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness. Be gentle with yourself. And I think that is the most important message here. Be gentle with yourself. So whatever is going on for you externally, it might be easy for you to beat yourself up. Like, whatever this 9 of Swords energy is, it might be very easy for you to beat yourself up with it, especially if it's like you're giving time to this when you feel like you should be giving time to this problem. Again, I'm not saying ignore the problem, but I'm saying make space for yourself even while the problem exists. You don't have to have a perfect world to grow and expand. I think that's really important. So don't be beating yourself up for not doing enough to solve whatever situations are going on in your life or move your life forward, whatever it may be. Being gentle with yourself is just coming through as a really big theme from your future self. It's also a favorite phrase of mine, so I love that has shown up here for you. But yes, be gentle with yourself. And let's see, any last messages for pile number 4 from their future self? What wants to come through? Okay, so here is your final message from your future self. We have Meadowlark. Smile. You will soon experience a wonderful journey of inner discovery. This is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's tarot, but this is why I love tarot. Every card, every reading, the card that has come out at the end has perfectly surmised what the reading was about. So in this case, you are experiencing a wonderful journey of inner discovery. Like, that truly is what I'm getting here. Like, that's what this is. It's you coming into a new level of self and being awakened by whatever spiritual or divine corner of the world is interesting to you. And what it awakens within you, what it teaches you, what it shows you is just so powerful and so magical and so expansive. And I am so excited for you, pile number 4. I love this energy for you. But on that note, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future readings. And if you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings. They are linked in the description box. And if this reading was meaningful to you and you would like to leave a donation, it is always appreciated, but never, ever expected. However, there is a link in the description box if that's something you would be interested in. But either way, I am just so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.